going to start a revolution. There's nobody better to start a revolution with than a bunch of wrestlers. And each of you in this room tonight are starting a revolution for the concept of PRTC. And
so our number one value for the PRTC is faith over fear. That confide, right? With faith, with confidence. That faith is going to trump any fear that we have, which is really important when you step on the wrestling mat. And the second one is to have full effort. That's our second value. Full effort in all you do. Again, it's important to have, all I ask of my wrestlers, we don't talk about winning and losing all the time, but what we want to focus on is giving full effort. Full effort practice, full effort when you step on the mat. But again, that transcends the mat. It's full effort when you're going to do a speaking engagement or a wrestling clinic. So we say our third value is to struggle well, which means to wrestle well. Whatever we're dealing with, it's going to be a struggle. I mean, as all of us talk, we all have stuff we're dealing with in our lives, we all know it, but how are we going to handle that? We want to handle that well, we want to struggle well. And then the fourth one, which really, I think, pulls this all together, and I think this separates us from other RTCs, is to serve others. And that just means with our guys, who you're going to meet all of them tonight, that they're not just focused on showing up and practicing every day. There's this constant awareness of how can I serve others. And if any of you get to know our guys, I think you'd be like, Rand, those guys are servants. I mean, they're just so thoughtful of other people. I mean, they really are living out those values, and I really believe they are.
So since I've joined the PRTC 2 years ago, I've been asked countless times, why did you choose the PRTC? And the more times I answer that question, I reflect on why I chose this place, and I can clearly see the manifestation of the vision that I saw in pursuing my senior level career here in Philadelphia. There was a vision and a mission to enrich lives locally and globally through the sport of wrestling that I truly believed in. And I knew that my footprint would extend beyond wrestling in the city of Philadelphia because of the ecosystem in place and the support system behind it.
Throughout my recruiting process in high school, Coach Slay always talked to me about being a trailblazer. What can I do? What kind of man can I be to do something differently than what a program has already seen? And I get to lead all these great young men, and I get to lead and learn from great leaders like Coach Reyna, Coach Pearsall, Coach BJ Futrell, and Coach Slay. There is no better place for me to learn how to be not only a great wrestler, but how to be a great leader and a great man. And that's another reason as to why I believe that the PRTC is one of the best places for not only wrestling, but for those guys who want to separate themselves in life as well.
But on August 27, 2018, at the World Team Training Camp, my life changed. Training camp was located on the Marine base at Camp Pendleton near San Diego. USA Wrestling and the Marines were putting us through combat training with helmets and pugil sticks. I was struck with a pugil stick and went through my football face mask and right below my eye. The force of the blow broke my orbital bone and sent 2 large bone fragments into my brain. I was immediately unresponsive. I suffered severe stroke, and I had to be life flighted to Scripps Hospital in San Diego. They initially told my wife Gina that at best I would be bedridden and in a vegetative state for the rest of my life, but I kept fighting. Once I regained consciousness, the doctor said I may never walk again, I may never talk again, but I kept fighting. I spent a month at Scripps Hospitals in San Diego with Gina by my side. We were so far from our children, our community, our support system. I need to receive medical treatment back home in Pennsylvania. I need to be around my family, my team, my community. But for my flight to San Diego to Philadelphia, I would need a private plane with multiple nurses to prevent me from having a stroke or potential seizure. The flight will cost $25,000, and insurance would not pay for that. Thankfully, the PRTC raised the money to fly me home to my family. Coach Slay flew out to San Diego and joined myself and my wife on the flight to make sure everything went smoothly. Getting back home increased my faith. I kept fighting. I like to be honest, I don't think many RTC donors and supporters would have rallied around one of their wrestlers like you all did for me. And for that, I would like to genuinely say thank you for your continued support through this whole process. Over the past 3 years, I never missed a paycheck or lacked health insurance for my family or myself.
Thank you so much for your support. Hopefully you guys can continue to give your generous contributions to our cause and allow us to go out there and pursue our dreams intently and deliberately to be Olympic and world champions, but also understanding that this is so much bigger than ourselves. Everything that we do is for the greater good of the community of Philadelphia and for everyone that comes into contact with us and anyone who has a dream of being better in the future than they are today.